So this is DIY with Donna, and we're just going to talk about the shed that we put together, the Suncast 8x7 shed, in our experience.
Yeah, it was a fun project, a little bit of work, but overall it was a pretty great family project, and we're all proud of the results. So it was a Suncast, like you said. I think it was the Modernist.
Okay. So one of the first things that when we're doing a shed, especially in this neighborhood, we need to get HOA approval.
Yeah, HOA.
Which was interesting. And also we needed county approval. So we definitely recommend going through your HOA and your county if you need to get approval before you start. So the instructions that we had for it were pretty good. One of the things that we did was make sure that we labeled each of the pieces. They're labeled on the piece itself, but it's like the same color of the piece, so you really couldn't see it unless you looked closely to it. So I think that was helpful to kind of label the pieces.
Yeah, that makes sense because the shed parts themselves came in two separate boxes where the side pieces are all flat in the boxes. Each box weighed over 200 pounds each.
Yeah. You mentioned laying flat. That was a big deal. We did kind of lean up some of the items or all of the items on the wall, which we don't recommend.
Yeah, a couple of the pieces got bent or a little bit deformed. We were able to work with it, but it made things a little more difficult than they had to be. So yeah, lay your pieces flat and sort them out so that they can be easily identified and assembled.
Right. So the first thing that we did is we had to create a platform.
Yeah, it was a wood platform or foundation for the shed, so it gave us a nice flat surface to assemble the shed on. So we also secured the shed to the foundation or platform once everything was assembled, so to make sure it was safe.
Right. And what we had, one of the things that I didn't understand is it is an 8x7 and the platform needs to be close to that size. And the reason being, you were saying, so the water doesn't run off.
Yeah, you don't want it oversized, but I guess one of the benefits of having it not too big is that the water when it rains won't accumulate on the edges of the platform, and maybe it cause some rotting over time. But yeah, so we just followed the instructions.
Right, and that was good that they did have instructions for the wood platform. So they had it in here. So when you put the nails for the floor, it would go into one of the wood beams that were going across.
Also, another tip is at the big box, we'll just say Home Depot we went to, they were able to cut the plywood for us to the exact sizes that were needed.
Right.
So that was real helpful, saved us a lot of time. So
we used pressure treated wood. We had stone for like under the platform, pavers, and the tough blocks.
Yeah, we had stone underneath the footers, as I would call them, where we put these tough blocks to make sure we had a secure footer or foundation for the platform.
Yeah. And our sons did come up and help us.
It was very helpful. It was a good family project.
Yeah, they came, put the window. I think Jordan did the window, and Jared helped with the platform. So
that was a big help.
Right. So after we finally got the platform together, we began the shed.
Yeah, it was time to assemble the shed.
Right. So there were some things to pre-assemble, like the door hanger, the window, and the headers. And then the first thing you did, we put the floor.
Oh yeah, they had the floor. How many pieces? That was 2 or 3 pieces of the floor that we had to assemble. That was pretty easy. That just went flat on the platform we built. So.
Right. And then we did the walls. And that's why we said make sure you keep things flat, because some of it was a little bit bent. So we kind of had a little bit of a challenge, putting it in. It was relatively easy once, the floor was there, snapping them together, and they have like these little big screw things that you put in.
Putting walls on, they're pretty easy. You just fit into these slots, and once you put them in there, you just kind of pushed them a bit, and they locked into place. So
right.
And then once all the walls were up, they had these little fasteners, plastic fasteners that just kind of screwed in place. You twisted them maybe 2 or 3 times, and they locked in place. But the directions for assembling the shed were pretty good. You just follow step by step, step 1 through whatever it was, 50 something, and you just make sure you have the appropriate tools and a helper.
Right. So there were ridge beams, there was roof trellises, and again, I think to me the difficult part was when we were trying to put the roof on, and again going back to our roof was a little bit bent because it was leaning against the wall.
Yeah, we had to loosen the roof truss just a little bit and assemble the two pieces of the roof. So they went on top, they slid down, and they locked into place as well. And then we were able to reassemble the roof truss. So the roof, it was a little difficult, but we improvised and solved the issue.
Yeah. So any helpful hints? Definitely read through the instructions first. Organize. There are a lot of different screws and things. Definitely have those organized. I think we put some in different cups and labeled them so it was easy to see which screws you were needed with other screws. But organizing that. I would recommend just making sure you have all the appropriate tools. Your screwdrivers and your hammers and so forth, and also work with a buddy, a helper, or a partner to make sure. Some of the pieces can be a bit heavy. So anyway, when you do a project of this size, you should always work with at least another person. And, right.
And other thing is, make sure you do follow every step in the procedure. Make sure that the floor of the shed is secured to your foundation. There are like 5 or 6 areas there where you put screws in, so you secure the final assembled shed to your platform. And then the other point is you anchor your platform to the ground. So we use these spiral anchors that screw down into the ground, and then I had these eyelets that were screwed at the 4 corners of the platform, and then have this wire that we secured to the eyelet down to the anchor in the ground. So that's required to make sure, in the event of a strong wind, your platform or your shed doesn't get blown away. So that's a safety feature that must be in place.
All right. Overall, we liked the shed. It's helping us clean out our garage.
Yeah, I like the shed. It's it looks good. It's another place to store stuff. So
Yeah. All right. So that was our experience with the Suncast. What was it called? The Modernist.
Modernist.
Modernist 8x7 shed. So we enjoyed it. Definitely would recommend it. It serves our purpose. I'm Don.
And I'm Will.
And this is DIY with Donna and Will.